Horizon 3 is on the way, but it seems like the multiplayer game will be coming first. Let's talk about it. Hello there everybody and welcome to The Comfy Spot. My name is Tyler and today we are going to be talking about the future of the Horizon series, specifically Horizon 3 and the in development Horizon multiplayer game. Before I get deep into the discussion, I just want to say as a bit of a heads up right now, due to some construction outside my house, on the street outside my house, you might be hearing of some booming, some banging type noises. It's cars driving over some bots construction. My apologies for that if you hear that in the background while I'm talking. Now, Horizon 3 and the future of the series. We already knew Horizon 3 was in development as well as a Horizon multiplayer game. We've known this for a while. We got a tiny sort of bit of an update this week from Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier. He was speaking on the Ways Spawncast. He was talking with them about the series, about the franchise, and he said that Horizon 3 is likely a ways off from release because the multiplayer Horizon game is going to be coming out first. That is the next project that Guerrilla Games is working on. Now, there are two things to tackle here. They're a bit interconnected, but there are two things to tackle here. That being Horizon 3, the single player sequel to Horizon Forbidden West, and the online multiplayer game. I'm going to tackle Horizon 3 first, okay? Now, this game being a ways off from release, not that surprising to me personally. I mean, Forbidden West came out in 2022 and the Burning Shores DLC came out last year in 2023. So honestly, I wasn't expecting Horizon 3 until 2027 at the absolute earliest, and honestly that's being a bit generous. Like 2028 seemed a bit more likely given the context of how long AAA development takes these days, on top of the fact that they are also working on this multiplayer game as well. It just made sense. 2027 at the earliest, very, very generous. 2028 seemed a bit more likely and realistic for the Horizon Forbidden West sequel to come on out. But given this new information that we have received from Jason Schreier, with this release date in mind that it is a ways out, so 2027, 2028 seems possible maybe, it stands to reason that Horizon 3 could end up being a launch title for the PlayStation 6. I mean, and if that is the case, it's likely that it would also be a cross-gen title and release on the PlayStation 5 as well, similar to how Forbidden West was a cross-gen title on PS4 and PS5. Again, not too surprised by this considering that, it seems like a 7-year console cycle for the PS5 makes sense. If I'm correct, there have even been, if I believe it was from court documents, I think from the FTC case with Microsoft and all, that it was expected or predicted that this console generation that we're in right now would be ending around 2027, 2028. So it makes sense the PS6 will be coming by then. The next Horizon could be a launch title for it. If that is the case, it is a bit disappointing that we wouldn't get a Horizon title that is solely for one piece of hardware, but hey, we'd still get a really damn good game no matter what. And I know some people might be thinking, 2027, that's so long, such a long time to wait. 2028, super far away. It is a long time. I mean, that's 3 years from now or 4 years from now, depending on what year you want to look at. At the same time though, a 5-year wait between games is the same amount of time that we had to wait between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, since Zero Dawn came out in 2017 and Forbidden West came out in 2022. So really, for the Horizon 3, it's really just a matter of when that game will be officially announced. Again, Guerrilla has already said that they are working on it. They said this back in 2022, but a proper announcement is probably not going to be happening for some time. I would be surprised if it happened next year. That'd be very early. I doubt it would happen though, since Sony Studios in more recent years, they've been more keen on announcing and revealing their games when they are much closer to release. Look at Ghost of Yotei, which just got announced for a 2025 release window. So I'm not putting any chips on the Horizon Forbidden West sequel, Horizon 3 being announced anytime soon, properly officially announced anytime soon, or revealed or released anytime soon. But 2027, 2028 at the absolute earliest is when I'm expecting that game to come out. Now, with that in mind, with all that context in mind, I'm not surprised that the Horizon online multiplayer game is coming first. It just makes sense. This game has been in development for some time now. We have known about it for some time now. This isn't any brand new information that they are making an online multiplayer game for the Horizon franchise. Again, it also got announced in 2022 alongside the announcement that, yeah, we are working on a sequel to Forbidden West. It's all known information. But back in 2023, we did get leaked in development footage of the game. It was very, very, very early in development footage, like prototype type footage. Lighting wasn't really there. It was very basic character models. It was very, very like prototype, early, super alpha in development footage of the multiplayer game. And we know it's part of Sony's big live service push. So I'm also on that level not surprised that it's coming before the next single player Horizon game. For me though, the real news from here regarding the multiplayer game is actually the fact that it is still happening. I recently talked about on the channel here, in the wake of Concord flopping and being shut down in a matter of 2 weeks of being released, I talked about, Sony's future live service plans, specifically regarding Marathon, Fair Games, and this Horizon multiplayer game. I was wondering what's going to happen with them, which ones are going to succeed, what decisions will be made regarding these games. And I was saying with Horizon and the Horizon multiplayer game, what its place in the whole live service gamble with Sony is that Horizon is one of Sony's most successful IPs. It has sold millions and millions and millions of copies, like a crazy amount of money. A crazy amount of copies have been sold of Horizon. The franchise is very popular, no matter what people on the internet may want you to believe, no matter how it may seem. It is a very well-loved, it is a beloved IP. That's why Sony is putting so much time and energy and money behind it. It makes sense that, because of that, they would want to try and stick behind a live service Horizon game. They wouldn't want to just cancel it because of other games flopping. Because the Horizon brand, the IP, is so strong and so popular, it stands to reason that that one would succeed. But even still, with Concord failing, and because of how beloved the IP is to Sony, it would make sense to be like, maybe we actually don't do this and don't tarnish the IP. But clearly, they are still sticking to their guns with it. And it makes total sense. Now, on the Spawncast, Jason, he does mention, he's like, hey, the upcoming Horizon Zero Dawn remaster is coming out soon. We have the Lego Horizon Adventures game coming out this year. And he wonders, like, if those games don't, perform well, if they're not received all that well from people, how excited will people be for the multiplayer game? Is that going to change perceptions of it? Is that going to cause Sony to reevaluate the multiplayer game? And it's possible. It's possible that it could end up getting canceled. Again, I highly doubt it because of just how much energy and faith Sony has in the Horizon IP and that brand. And also the fact that it's been in development for quite some time. But I mean, it is possible. Look at the Last of Us multiplayer game that Naughty Dog canceled after many years of development. So again, I don't think it could be canceled. It is possible. I just don't think it would be because of Sony's faith in the IP. We have the Netflix show in development, the aforementioned games, the Lego one and the remaster coming later this year, and these new projects, the multiplayer game and the sequel to Horizon 3. With those things in mind, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see them canceling it. Again, on top of the fact that, it is one of their best-selling franchises. And there's also the fact that the Horizon universe lends itself so well to a multiplayer environment purely off the gameplay loop of hunting and fighting robot animals, robot dinosaurs. Like, multiplayer is something that fans have wondered and kind of asked for ever since the first game. It is something that Guerrilla themselves considered putting into the first game. They planned on doing it, but they chose not to so that they could focus their resources on getting the game out and making it good. and then they considered putting co-op into Forbidden West, if I'm correct. And of course, obviously, did not happen. So obviously, clearly, Guerrilla has been interested in doing multiplayer with Horizon, with the franchise. So I would trust them to do a full-on online multiplayer game. Of course, different era now. Live service is very different from just a multiplayer mode. But you know, if it is a multiplayer game that is in the vein or inspired by Monster Hunter, which again is what people have imagined and envisioned a Horizon multiplayer game being, essentially Monster Hunter, the Horizon experience, the Horizon version of it, then that'd be great. That'd be awesome. I'd be all for it. I'm interested in a multiplayer Horizon game because again, the world, this world is so vast. It can be fleshed out in so many different ways, and a multiplayer space could allow us to engage in the world in really fun, unique, different, interesting ways with our friends, and we can get different stories from it. I'm all for it. Of course, I don't want it to fail. I only want this to be a thing that, hey, if it's a good idea, do it. I hope it's not, filled to the brim with a lot of the predatory live service trappings of the modern era, battle passes and crazy microtransactions. Who knows what'll be in it and all. But I have faith in it. When do I think this will be released? Who knows? Maybe 2025, depending on where it is in development. But I mean, that could be very optimistic. I'm thinking 2025 at the absolute earliest. 2026 is a bit more realistic. Will it be announced though? That's also another tricky one. It is possible that we could get the announcement later this year at like another State of Play or the Game Awards, but I think it's more likely that we'll get the announcement of the Horizon multiplayer game next year in 2025. That way, we get the announcement the same year it comes out or a year before it comes out, one of the two. Nonetheless though, Horizon multiplayer game, I am interested in it. I am still excited for it. I'm happy to hear that it has not been canceled. It is still a thing. It is still in the works, and it will be coming out before Horizon 3, which is not surprising. And Horizon 3 is probably going to be coming out 2027 at the earliest, but that's being very generous. 2028 is what I think is more likely. Let me know your thoughts though about this Horizon news down in the comment section below. Are you excited about the thought of a Horizon multiplayer game? Are you disappointed by it? Are you disappointed that Horizon 3 is coming, farther out than you might have thought or hoped or expected? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel too, and hit on that notification bell. That way you know as soon as new videos go live. My name is Tyler. This has been The Comfy Spot. We'll talk next time. Have a good one.